All right. Hello, hello, hello. We are live. Can you guys hear us out there? We are live. We are live. Let me double check, make sure everything's. We are live. Yes, 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 yes. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to our Christine live commentary. You guys voted for it. You wanted Christine. We are here to deliver. I am your moderator, Pizzal, and joining me tonight, I have got Gibbs, the obsoletionist. What's up, man? How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Got my steering wheel, got my bubbly. I'm ready to watch some Stephen King and John Carpenter.
Nice. Very nice. You are ready to go. What are we drinking tonight?
A peach bubbly.
Peach bubbly. Okay. Cool. Mm-hmm. Very nice. Very nice. Also with me tonight is Stone Gassman. What's up, Stone?
Oh, I'm doing great. Doing great. Yeah. Good day at work. Good day here in New York. Not too cold. And just preparing for the Corona zombie massacre, which will probably happen in the next couple months here.
Well, we're fingers crossed that will not be the case, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Some would lead you to believe that is right around the corner, but we'll hope not.
Mm-hmm.
We'll hope not. But good to see you, Stone. Also with me tonight is Raiho Magnifico. What's up, Raiho?
Not much. I felt like I should turn my chair sideways and like Dr. Evil and just like sit through the whole commentary. No, things are going well. Crack my beer, as usual.
What kind of beer are we drinking tonight?
Tonight we've got coffee and cocoa.
Coffee and cocoa, nice.
Coffee and cocoa, in honor of Jay.
Sounds like an interesting combination. You'll have to give us a taste test.
Yeah, here we go.
Do.
Wait for it to settle here a little bit. Actually, I'll try some other can. It's pretty good.
You've got to review it B Junior style.
Oh, B Junior. I would have to be like an MGD or like a Schlitz. The Schlitz is delicious. That's a review.
It's got a.
What was the other one? Oh, Miller. He was on about the Miller High Life.
Yeah, he'd be like, it's got a full head on it, and it's
It does have a full head on it. There you go. Tastes good.
All right, good.
Could be a good night.
All right. Also with me tonight is Lorne, visited by Voices One. What's going on, man?
All the locals hide their tears of regret. Open fire because I love you to death. Sky high with a heartache of stone. You'll never see me because I'm always alone. Someone out there needs to recognize that because it'll be important later. I'm good. How are you?
Doing very well. Doing very well. We're seeing a different part of the Lorne Cave tonight.
Just slightly, ever so slightly.
Nice.
Just a bit different of an angle because I have another screen in service tonight, so I can watch this film.
Is that
I gotta say,
Ibanez?
Excuse me?
Ibanez in the back guitar.
It is.
Yeah. Is it a 7-string?
It is a 6-string.
6-string.
You think I'm lucky I can play 6?
Well, the 7 strings you just have to just slide them. Just gotta make noise.
So I'm very excited about this movie because it has no Corys in it and was not directed by Rob Zombie, and it does not feature Michael Myers on webcam. So all in all, this is a win. I would say that Christine is not my favorite John Carpenter film by a steady mile. It's probably my least favorite of the early Carpenter films, but I'll take the least early Carpenter over most of what exists, period, in films. So all in all, this feels like a gimme to me. It's not The Fog, which you guys should have voted for, but that's okay.
Now, so this is your first live commentary that's not a Rob Zombie that's that's not a Two Corys movie or a Halloween movie. No, wait a minute. You forgot about Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yes, there was Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and actually my very first commentary was Halloween 6. Which is not my favorite in that franchise either.
You've done a lot of Halloween commentaries.
Yeah, I've done a lot of Halloween You know, it's funny because Halloween is not my favorite of this big slasher franchise. It's Nightmare on Elm Street is my least favorite because there's only one film I like. But Halloween is like one of those. There's more bad than good in my opinion. But I've definitely done a lot on this show. So this is a good one. This is a pleasant change of pace, even if it's not exactly what I would have chosen, which was The Fog, and I tried to get these people to vote for it by saying I didn't want it.
You know, I honestly,
You
can't win. No, I would have preferred The Fog too, but I love Christine, so it's a win-win. It's a win-win. Also with me tonight is Jay the Stingray. What's up, Stingray?
What's cracking, guys?
How you doing, man?
Good. And man, if Lauren doesn't quit talking shit about the Coreys, I'm gonna have to cancel you on social media. Honestly, I'm gonna show off my Coreys collection later on tonight.
The next Viewer's Choice live commentary. The picks will be Dream a Little Dream, Blown Away, the two Coreys Blown Away, not the Jeff Daniels Blown Away. Let's see, what else have we got? The two Coreys.
With both of them, yeah. I guess.
So you know they do make caskets in a variety of sizes. I just want it noted that I'm only 5'5", so you'll be saving any loved ones I don't have a little bit of money because they won't have to buy the larger casket at that point.
Oh man. But are we drinking anything special tonight, Stingray?
I got some coffee here. It's just a mix of Colombian roast and some French roast.
Cool.
Mixed together.
All right. Very cool. And joining me tonight also is Christian. What's up, Christian? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Piz? What's going on?
Oh, not too much. You doing all right?
Had a tree fall in my backyard last night, but
Well, as long as it didn't fall on the house or on a car.
no, I lucked out. I'm gonna have to cut it all up tomorrow and just. Oh, I'm a country boy. I got all kinds of weaponry in my house, so yeah.
That sucks, man. We've had some bad weather here too.
Yeah, it's miserable.
Tired of rain. Nothing but rain for like 2 months straight.
Yeah, I think it's all the rain that we had for like a month and a half is now moved over to you guys. So,
Could be worse.
Yeah.
Could be snow.
Yeah, we don't.
Could be ice.
True.
Could be. Yeah, could be.
No, I don't like snow. I'm not a snow person. I like it hot. Hot.
I always like snow at the start of the winter, and then by the time February comes around, I just want to kill it with fire. That's where I'm at right now.
Let's see what's going on out in the chat tonight. Let's see who we got with us tonight. Barbecue Network is here. Joe Bob Tarhill is here. Robert Long is here. Jamie. Hello, Jamie. David Vines. What's up? Borderline 11. Joe Caroluzzo. Crystal Lake Counselor 1977. Our buddy Chris is out there. Jack Whitaker is in the chat. Hello. Adam, the motion picture history horror fan. What's up with you? How are you doing, buddy? Movie Man 95. Hello, Movie Man 95. Oh, Chris actually says he's never seen Christine. Wow. So.
Me neither.
Really? Okay, cool.
This is going to be a first time viewing for me, but I'm looking forward to it.
I haven't watched it in 15 years, and I can barely remember it. So I'm pretty much in the same boat. I know when I watched it, because it was right after the Assault on Precinct 13 remake when I did like a Carpenter binge. But it's been forever since I watched it, so I'm in the same boat.
Oh, Gibbs, we've got a question directly directed to you in the chat from Barbecue Network. He wants to know, do you like Metroid?
The first one, yeah, I like Metroid, and then the ones for the Game Boy Advance are pretty good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
See, Metroid was pretty. It was kind of a game changer because, like so many games after Metroid, were referred to as Metroid style. So
yeah, Metroidvania.
Exactly.
That and Castlevania. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's a pretty sweet game, and if you want it, you got to see Samus in her bathing suit, which was, a big thrill.
Are you playing any? How should I put this? Are you playing any new old games?
Any new old games? Yeah, I just got. What did I just? I got Little Big Planet. I'm actually trying out for the first time for the PS3, and it's okay. I'm not a big platformer guy, but it's pretty fun.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Did you say you had a? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna. You do have a Switch, right?
Yes.
Okay.
My son does. Yeah.
Do you have a Switch, Raiho?
Yep.
Pretty fun.
I don't get to play anything at all. I just don't get time right now. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it for sure. I've had some games that I really enjoyed. The news, not new anymore. 3 years old now. Zelda. I've literally got a stack of games that I've been picking up as they came out, and I haven't touched them. So it's been like forever. I'm like, I just can't seem to get any time to play. But I do enjoy the Switch. Yeah.
Cool. Well, you were going to say something else, Gibbs. I cut you off. What were you going to say?
No, I was trying to think of the other game I've been playing, but I can't for the life of me remember. Getting old is fun. I have no idea what video games I've been playing. So it was on the Wii, but I can't for the life of me think of what it was. Oh well, that was some fascinating video, wasn't it?
Something I still do that I've seen them a million times, but they still crack me up. Is the Wii fail videos where people are like throwing the controller through their TVs, or like, you know what I mean, throwing them off the back of their grandma's head. Those videos still crack. I'll watch them now. They still crack me up. I don't know.
That actually happened to me. I remember a buddy of mine came over and we were drinking and playing Wii bowling, and he put it through the tiles on the roof at my mom and dad's place. So he didn't put it through. He put a nice dent in it. And anyway, he ended up buying me a new one, and it came with the game, so it worked out. And then we had this other game to play, and then he ended up picking that one. It was a whole thing. Pretty funny.
Centipede Resurrection. That's the game I could.
Centipede Resurrection.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Way Forward did it. And if you're familiar with them, they do a lot of kind of reboots of old franchises, and they're a lot of fun. So, and it's actually really good. I'm kind of shocked.
Well, like you said, Way Forward, they rarely miss.
No doubt.
We've actually got a very interesting question in the chat tonight from Midnight Geek, who I believe is a new viewer. I don't recognize that name, but hello, Midnight Geek. Welcome to the show. He asks, how much do you guys think the coronavirus will impact theater ticket sales over the next 6 months to a year? I think that's a pretty interesting question.
People are trying to blame the whole bond moving.
Right.
They're trying to say, they want to dodge it.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say they've already.
Yeah.
Supposedly,
I don't know.
that's the reason.
It could be, but like, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if that's just an opportunity to do some reshoots, change some stuff around, or if it's Corona related.
Yeah,
Sonic the Hedgehog hasn't even opened in China, I don't believe, because of that.
Okay. Well, there you go.
So whatever their ad buy was for this initial round for the Bond film, they're going to have to respend. So I don't know. It's a tough call, because if they delayed it because of fears about coronavirus and then nothing really happens to affect sales, then they're going to spend a lot more money than they had to. It's going to cut deeply. We're talking millions. Tens of millions.
Not only that, but they're putting it out in November now. So whatever they may have considered slotting in there, that's a big time too, right? So they're shipping stuff early. It's a big money sink if they.
I have a feeling they just were concerned about elements of the project to begin with, because I think if they felt it was strong enough, they wouldn't really care.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the conspiracy theories, the movie had gotten bad press because it's woke in some way. I don't know. I've not paid attention. I'm not a Bond fan personally, but the conspiracy theory is that they're postponing it so that they'll have time to do some reshoots and stuff, and they're just blaming it on the virus. So I mean,
yeah, I heard that too. That they were trying to. It was like an opportunity to do some reshoots, but I don't know. The whole thing is, I don't. We aren't hit as bad as like you guys are in Canada. Like even like, there's nothing around me. Every person that I talk to, like the only movie people talk about at the office is looking forward to seeing Bond. You know what I mean? So it seemed like it would have just done fine around here, but I understand that there's some places that are hit harder and stuff like that. But
yeah, right. But very good question, Midnight. Anybody else want to add anything to? Is the possibility of the coronavirus? Is it going to turn you guys away from going to the theater? Or I was actually talking about it before we went live. That maybe some people will have reservations about going to conventions because of the coronavirus. Are you guys paranoid in any way of the coronavirus?
Yeah, I know Eric said he had a big conference planned in Las Vegas that was canceled.
Yeah, they canceled all travel for students in Nova Scotia yesterday. My little cousin who was going to Rome, she couldn't go anyway because Italy's basically on lockdown, but they canceled that too. So they're pushing it out. I feel so bad for her. She was saving money up and doing all this stuff to get money for the trip, and she's going to get to go now. But yeah, I mean it's an issue, man. Italy got hit hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very much. Yeah.
I think they said, I was on the news the other day, and it's surpassed the flu in terms of like death count. Like if you think about that, like the real flu, like that's influenza, like it surpassed it, like for percentage or something like that. And I don't know what the time period that is over or whatever, but like that's pretty significant.
Yeah.
I'm not so worried about it here. Like I said, we haven't had a single case or anything like that, but.
Well, Midnight Geek just posted that all schools in Seattle are closed for the next 2 weeks.
Wow.
Damn.
I know Washington State's got a lot of reported cases of it right now. So
one thing I will say is it's super hard to get toilet paper here right now, and I don't know if it's related. I know, like literally, people are lined up at Costco first thing in the morning when they have a delivery to get toilet paper, and then it sells out, and you can't get it. Like it's crazy.
Wow.
It could be related to I mentioned last week I was here, the rail stoppages with the native tribes and stuff like that. But
yeah,
no one's sure if people are just buying it up because of Corona or because they are saying to stock up on canned goods and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Wow. Anybody else have anything they want to add about coronavirus fears? Okay. Well, has anybody seen any good movies over the past week? Good, bad, or indifferent movies over the past week?
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. It's time. Invisible Man.
All right. So okay. Well, I know several of us have seen The Invisible Man. Stone Gibbs, Christian, have you guys seen The Invisible Man?
Yeah. No, unfortunately. No. Oh, no.
Okay. So Gibbs, you saw it though.
No.
I thought one of you said yes.
Christian's
yes.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. What'd you think of it, Christian?
I liked it.
Okay. I know Stingray saw it. I know he liked it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see it again tonight, actually.
Oh, cool.
Hell
yeah. I know Raiho saw it. I posted my review of it the other day. I had a few issues, but overall I liked it. Somebody asked me, like, is it something that you'll buy on Blu-ray and watch over and over again? And I thought, nah, I don't know about that, but it was a good time. Lauren, I know you saw it. You had some issues with it.
Extremely mixed. I you know what? It's not for how this year has been going. It's not something to complain about. But I mean, the screenplay is a mess. The story is completely lazy at points. It looks great. It's incredibly shot. I have no problems with the acting, though. Some people are saying that are really pointing out they think the acting is incredible, and I don't know that I think that. The editing is the real star of the show because it is an incredibly tightly made film. But the story has just gigantic holes in it that are not. I just don't see how it got to the screen without those being addressed. So I mean, I give it a C minus. I'd say it's a film that you should go in looking for a good time and nothing more, and you'll probably be fine. But if you go in wanting a masterpiece, which I'm hearing way too much of on social media and just in talking to the community, it is no masterpiece. It is a far cry from that.
I would not consider it a masterpiece. I don't know if I had to give it a grade. I'd probably give it, I don't know, B minus maybe, somewhere in that neighborhood. Raho, I know you saw it. You enjoyed it for the most part, correct?
Well, like for all the reasons Lauren said, I thought it was beautifully shot. I enjoyed the tempo. I thought Elizabeth Moss did an excellent job. The acting was okay, but she was kind of exceptional for most of the. I mean, she was on the screen the entire time.
Yeah.
I loved the audio in it. I thought that the sound editing was like, they had this kind of like water motif, and sometimes it would be like almost like if you had your head underwater, like the audio would be almost just like white noise. Like there was a couple of, and then it, that kind of ran through the whole film. It opened up with the water crashing, and you had the rain and all that stuff. So I thought that the audio was really nice in it, but the plot holes near the, like especially nearing the end, were so bad. Like I came home and I sat down and I was like talking to my wife and I was like, "You're not gonna see this movie, right?" She was like, "I need to rant. I need to walk you through this because it actually really kind of took me out of the movie a little bit. Like that I don't want to say anything because I don't want to spoil the territory, but nearing the end of the film, like I was sitting there like, none of this makes any sense. Like it literally reached that point. And then I started like backtracking after the ending of the film. And I was like, I feel like they shoehorned in a few things to make that ending work. I think that was a bad idea. I think they could have ended it the first ending and had a better film and taken out some of the twist and some other pieces, but they put them in there and they make no sense. You look back at it and you're like, how does how did such a beautifully well shot film have such a bad, like Lauren said, have such a bad script? Like that's like, it's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
The terrifying thing about it is that Lee Whannell, who made the beautiful film, he directed it, he also wrote it, and it's from original story treatment from him. So it's like, it breaks my heart to say it because I like him so much as a filmmaker, but man, he needed to pass it off to someone to give it another gloss. I mean, my biggest thing is if you take, and this is, you can do this with any movie to determine whether like the character dynamics work, but what is the villain's plan? In other words, from a starting point to an ending point, what did he try and accomplish and how did he try and accomplish it? And you realize it's completely nonsensical. Like, I mean, he puts up more roadblocks to what he wants than he does just go for what he wants. It's amazing.
That brings it back to my whole thing. If you had an invisibility cloak, why are you going to go mess with your ex? You know what I mean? It opens up so many possibilities.
That makes sense to me. Like he's obsessed. Like I get that part, but like Lauren said, like when he actually really starts messing with her, like that scene where she goes in the attic, like none of that made any sense to me. Like I'm sitting there watching and I'm like,
the attic is the worst.
No, I think the worst is the twist. Like when you think about the logistics of how that had to play out, like that makes zero sense to me. Like I can't get through it.
Are you talking the twist at the first climax or the twist?
The first climax. So like when you think about it, like
you saw it coming though too. You knew they
absolutely saw it coming, but then when they did it, I'm like, but how could it? Like it's like you see it coming, but you're like, they can't really do it. But then when they do it, you're like, did he have a teleporter? I don't want to get into it. Anyway.
I mean, this is not a spoiler to say. It's just one of the things that kept bothering me is like, how does an invisible man get around town? Because is he taking it off and driving regular? Because that's okay, but then what's he doing with the car? Because you'd think you saw what he drove, right? I mean, that gets noticed. So if he's taking off the suit and he's being invisible, then no one's driving a car. That's going to attract attention. I'm not saying they needed to answer these questions with a scene of this guy driving around, but I am saying like something. One line of dialogue, give me something. It just felt very lazy.
At some point.
What was that, Stingray?
So you got to suspend your disbelief at some point.
Oh, definitely. I don't mind that part.
But I suspend disbelief where the filmmaker tells me to. So in other words, if you're going to try and ground your movie and make a realistic version of something, then I'm going to judge it based much more on reality. If it's just complete fantasy, as the original Claude Rains film was, anything goes. Cool. Although that film actually did answer that question, so I don't know.
But my favorite scene in the film, at the restaurant. Those of you who've seen it know. That scene, when you think about it, I mean, I know why it's in the movie, because it's an awesome scene and it comes out of nowhere and it's a great surprise. But do you think that restaurant didn't have any security cameras in it?
That's the first thing I thought. Like, they're gonna go to the security, see it happen, and then she's good.
Yeah.
Or that's the first thing I thought.
It was a full loaded restaurant. You mean there wasn't, one person didn't glance over and go, well, that's odd. That thing looks like it's, oh my God. You know what I mean? I mean, I can suspend my disbelief for a lot of stuff with movies. I'm constantly getting on my girlfriend about, you can't bring common sense into a horror movie. Leave that at the door. But there I don't know. There were so many moments in this movie where, when you think about it, you just, I don't know. It just doesn't add up. That didn't detract overall. I still liked the movie a lot, but it's just like when you're, like driving home. I was thinking, like, okay, was he wearing that when he was driving?
Yeah.
Wouldn't somebody be like, there's a ghost driving that? What the hell? I don't know. I eventually just kind of found myself laughing at a lot of the stuff. And
you could say he has tinted windows in his fancy car, so
were they?
Yeah, that part didn't bother me. It was just the timing things like that really bothered me. Like, if he drove with nobody in the car, you could get away with it.
The timing was a little odd too. Like, I mean, I don't know.
Well, except, you see, there's still stuff that's screwy about it, even if you accept that he has tinted windows, right? So he follows. I'm sorry, people, but it's first act. I don't care. If you follow someone to find out where someone is staying, which happens in the film very early on, at some point you still have to open the door, close the door, walk around. I mean, it's just, what I'm saying isn't so much that could you pull it off? You could, but these are all big chances this guy took. Like, there's no way to plan for this stuff. I mean, it's just, it's written for set pieces. The entire attic thing is just one big set piece that makes no sense. But then again, like, there's an action sequence in it that is as impressive as anything you're going to see in an action film this year.
Yeah.
So I don't want to come off as the guy screaming like this is the worst film of the year. It's far from it. The Grudge is, like, by far still the worst film of the year, but it is a film with problems, and I don't think it's going to age well either. Simply because I think it's kind of a one-note thing. I think once you've seen it, I'm not sure if it's going to play for endless rewatches. But listen, I like Lee Winnell, and I think he's a really, really talented visual storyteller. So I'll be there for the next thing he does too.
Same here.
I had fun watching it, and I've told people to go watch it, and I'm glad it's doing well. I'm really glad it's doing well, because I would like to see more stuff. Like, maybe this one wasn't the best written or whatever, but it was still a fun ride for some of it, and it was very tense. There were some very tense scenes. And I mean, like, when you think about it, it's just her in a room. There's no other person there. Yeah. And some of the stuff was so, like, I mean, it's just the camera tilt or whatever, and you're like, your brain's going wild, like, where is he, and stuff like that. There's some very cool scenes in it. So I'm glad that it did well, and it's doing well, and I hope that we get some more. And I hope they don't just go for, like, The Invisible Woman or something like that, or do something, you know what I mean? Like, I hope they do another movie. Like, let's get something else in there and try it out. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be Dracula or Frankenstein. Let's go for the Wolfman or something and give that a shang and try something else. I think it's so hopefully, the money talks, and Blumhouse has got something else in the works now.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure they got 10 movies.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be a long year for Blumhouse, so don't get too excited.
That's true. They've got some sticks in the fire.
But Invisible Man, doing very well at the box office. I mean, I think probably the success of The Invisible Man has, like, already paid for the failure of Black Christmas and Fantasy Island combined, probably. So Anywho, anybody see anything else, good, bad, or indifferent this week?
I was watching Jay liked this movie. I was watching The House That Jack Built right before the stream, and me and my wife were. Jay didn't lie when he goes, "It's pretty much black humor," and it was like literally the darkest shade of black humor. But it was really awesome. I loved it. I love those kind of pseudo documentarian, Leslie Vernon type movies. I love that stuff. So any kind of movie I can get like that, I'll watch more of it.
My favorite part is when he drags that body back to the to the refrigerator place.
Oh, dude, the scene with the kids with shotgun. I was like, this son of a gun. I won't say it though, in case anybody. Seen it.
The scene where he takes the wife, the woman, and the kid hunting. Oh
yeah, that was. Like, I can see what Jay meant. Like, it's black comedy, but I was like, good God. My wife had just got home from work, and she was like, what are you watching? I was like, it's got... But, I like that. Color Out of Space, I saw that. I like that. Oh, and The Void. The Void's one of my favorite horror movies ever made. I bought that on Blu-ray, and I was watching that. I love The Void so much.
What is Color Out of Space? I've heard a few people talk about that.
It's a Nick Cage movie, an H.P. Lovecraft story. I like it a lot. It's kind of like
it's
a
Richard Stanley movie too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Am I right about that?
Yeah. I liked it, man. I liked it a lot.
Is it streaming somewhere in particular, or?
I don't know.
It should be on VODs. Like, it should be.
Okay.
It's been out for a little while, I think. Like, the Blu-ray, I think, is just kind of hitting or whatever. But it did like a small theatrical, and then it went to VOD, so it should be available.
Cool.
I've wanted to watch it too, so.
I'm always skeptical with Nick Cage, so.
I want to see.
Never...
Have you guys heard about Come to Daddy, the Elijah Wood movie?
Yeah.
It looks pretty interesting.
That's that's speaking of black comedy. That's like definitely a horror comedy kind of thing. Right?
Oh, I think Elijah Wood had a credit on Color Out of Space as well. Like he was one of the I forgot what it was. Producers, not screenwriters. Producers. I was like, hell yeah, man, because I had just watched the Maniac remake he did not long ago, and he was in my head. I was like, that's cool, man.
Yeah,
he's trying to get his claws in Nightmare, isn't he? Nightmare on Elm Street.
He made a quote. He made a public quote, but
that he wants it, but not actually anything that's happening. I gotcha.
Oh, I think things are happening with the title. I just don't think it's going in that direction.
Yeah.
He also produced Mandy. He's part of I think the SpectraVision people.
That's another one, man. That Mandy. Me and my wife love that movie. Yeah. That was crazy, man. I love Mandy.
I did too. Loved.
I remember people. I was seeing people. I was getting messages. Christian, go watch Mandy. I was like, I'm not watching Nicolas Cage, man. Like, I'm not watching National Treasure. Like, what are you talking about? And then they're like, no, go get it. And now I'm ready for the next Nick Cage movie. It's pretty cool.
He's riding that Mandy success.
Oh,
well, what happened? My wife was saying something like, "Oh, Christian, well, he got a lawsuit. He's got to make some money. He's doing movies with something. Did he get in not legal trouble? Like, did he get divorced? Did somebody take all his money, or what's going on with him?"
I thought it was tax issues.
I think he spent all his money on just crazy stuff. It was like
okay.
Yeah, but they've been saying that for years. I feel like he's got to recoup that at some point. I think he's just at this point now where it's just like, I'll just take whatever role. I don't give a shit. Like, he's just. Like, I feel like he's got to be okay financially at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to judge actors, but when I watched him in Color Out of Space, I was like, God, this guy knows how to lose his freaking mind. I never thought of him as much as an actor, but I never watched him much before, except when I was a kid. But I was like, Jesus Christ, like this guy seems pretty talented to me. Jesus, it's no Ghost Rider, but I liked it a lot. So I'm ready for another Nick Cage horror movie, man.
Yeah.
I would love for Hammer to do like a remake of The Devil Rides Out with Nick Cage. I don't know why. I've had that in my brain for a while. I think it's probably because he did. Oh God, what's the one with bees? Wicker Man. I don't know why. I always kind of equate those movies as having a similar feel. So I feel like The Devil Rides Out with Nick Cage. Nick Cage versus Baphomet. Be something else.
So one of the things about that movie, The Color Out of Space, is that the 4K UHD disc does not have HDR on it, which is baffling that they would bother putting out the premium product and not give you the key reason to buy it on that format, especially with a film where the word color is in the title.
That's why I didn't get the 4K.
Yeah, well, it's just good move. Just bizarre. I mean, I didn't love the movie. I felt it was okay. I'm a huge Lovecraft fan. This is a story that's been adapted 3 times previously as films, and I guess I was looking for it to hit a complete grand slam if I was going to put it over Ivan Zakone's version from 10 years ago, and I just felt like that is still the superior version. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It didn't blow me away. Like, again, I seem to be out of lockstep with a lot of the horror community and what they continually praise. I just don't see the works raising to these classic levels that people are talking about. I just don't see it.
Apparently you didn't see Mandy.
I did see Mandy.
Oh, you didn't understand it then. Let's see what else is going on here. Goodness gracious.
Piz, I don't want to open up a can of worms, but Lauren will be mad at me for saying this, but I did really laugh my ass off at Spookies. When my wife, I got a treadmill in our bedroom, and I'll get on the treadmill and watch movies. And my wife came in when the farting mummies hit the screen, and she had to stop what she was doing. She goes, "What is this? Like, what kind of movies are you buying, Christian?" She's like, "What the hell?" And she was laughing her ass off at that. Yeah.
Hey, Kristen, wait till she watches Gwendolyn.
I can't wait, man. I love Tawny. I still think she's gorgeous. She's plastic as hell, but I still think she's gorgeous.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I ordered it though, Stone, so I'm ready to get it, man.
Awesome. And like I said, I ordered my copy of Eyes of a Stranger. I mean, I already tweeted about that. You guys know all about that. But I thought that's probably one of my favorite slashers now. I've seen it twice now. It's pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's what you tweeted about, right?
Yeah,
the other day?
yeah.
What was it?
Eyes of a Stranger.
Dude, I never heard of it. I've never heard of that. Now,
Yeah.
is that streaming somewhere?
It's on
Anybody know?
YouTube, but that's the theatrical cut. That's the 81-minute theatrical cut.
You should be able to get the crappy Warner Brothers DVD super cheap online.
$6.
What is it? Twisted.
Yeah,
Twisted
Terror collection.
Twisted Terror,
Yeah.
or something like that. Yeah, yeah.
There's
It's
a lot of great stuff about the Twisted Terror collection.
It is a good slasher.
Yeah.
It's definitely overlooked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
cool.
yeah, I've always really liked it. Yeah, it needs a
And I
Blu-ray
was
for
stunned.
Sure.
I was stunned at the. There were Hitchcock homages all over the place. I mean, they must have referenced at least 3 or 4 Hitchcock films. And this is from the guy that directed Return of the Living Dead Part 2, I believe.
Yeah. What was it? What's his name?
Ken Wiederhorn.
Ken Wiederhorn. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Ken. And it stars the cruise director from The Love Boat.
and a very young and mute Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Really good. She was really good in that. Yeah.
It's got Savini did the makeup effects and everything in it as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty
And
good.
and real quick, just like I said, you via Twitter, it's only one of 3 films produced by Georgetown Productions that did Friday the 13th 1 and 2. And in fact, the guy that wrote Friday 2, Ron Kurz, he wrote Eyes of a Stranger under a pseudonym.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's Ron Kurz. Yeah,
Did not know that.
yes, indeed. But
Interesting.
anyway, if you guys haven't seen Eyes of a Stranger, I highly recommend that one. That was pretty damn good.
I'm gonna try to get on that. Piz, I gotta ask you one thing real quick. Tell me if I made the right call.
Sure.
I had Berserker in my cart on Amazon, and at the last minute, I swapped it out and got Unmasked 25.
Oh. You can't go wrong with either one of them. I guess it depends on price, but I don't think you can go wrong with either. You'll like Unmasked 25. It's kind of Leslie Vernon-ish before Leslie Vernon.
You said something in your review, and I know you've got a pretty dry sense of humor, so I'm assuming you were joking. But you said it straight as a son of a bitch. You said, "Now, if anybody's seen Unmasked Parts 1 through 24, drop a comment below. Let me know." And I'm like, wait a minute. There's no way. There's 24 of these son of a bitches.
No, that's part of the joke. It's kind of like it's making fun of Friday the 13th and all the endless sequels and stuff. But.
Well, your review for that was really nice. So I was like, screw it. I'll get Berserker later.
Yeah.
Now, you're a cool dude. I can't wait to get the vinyl soundtrack for that now.
Oh, man. That's good stuff. That's a good soundtrack right there.
Teenage. I laughed my ass off at that still, man.
Yeah, I had to rewind that one in particular several times. Is he saying, because it sounds like when he's singing, it sounds like he's saying, teen ape. It's like, is he saying teen ape, teenage, or what's it, teen rage? What's he saying here? I had to rewind it like several times. What is this guy? What's the lyrics here? I'm almost positive it's teenage. Because he says it a million times in a row. Teenage.
Is this a case of, all right, guys, what kind of music can we get in here? I don't know. What can we afford? Not much.
Pretty much.
So we gotta come.
I think it was like Bob, the boom guy. I saw you've got a guitar, right? Just record something. We'll throw it on here.
I haven't even heard it yet, and I'm already laughing my ass
You've got 15 minutes, by the way, so hurry up. So.
Well, I got the lyrics started. That's fine. Just give me what you got.
Exactly. Yeah. I got one lyric. Good enough. Record that sucker.
Man, now I feel like I should have got Berserker.
You'll have time to get Berserker. You'll have time.
That sounds like the music on Night Train to Terror.
It's not going out of print anytime soon, I don't think. I spoke to somebody in the business of acquiring titles for a very prominent Blu-ray distributor, and I asked him straight up about Fright Night 2. I said, what is going on with Fright Night 2? Why is there not a Fright Night 2 Blu-ray? And I said, here are the common rumors. And he said, it has nothing to do with Menendez getting killed. It has nothing to do with the music rights. It has nothing to do with, we don't know who owns the rights. He said Studio Canal owns the movie. And what Studio Canal does is they buy up all of these movies and literally do nothing with them. They do not license the titles out to anybody.
What?
And they will sit on these titles forever. And unfortunately, Fright Night 2 is one of these titles.
What's the business reasoning behind that? Like, can anybody walk me through? Like,
See, that circles back to the Menendez brothers thing to me. What if the family members are like funding to get the movie put away?
No. It has nothing to do with Menendez. It has nothing to do with Menendez at all. They've got the rights. They don't license out the rights to their titles, and
well, wait a second. Studio Canal financed some of those late '90s to early 2000 Lynch films, and those got out and remain out.
Apparently,
there has to be something with these specific titles, because
not according to this guy. Not according to what this guy told me.
Because Studio Canal, I mean, I'm not going to pull up a list, but they're a major financier of completion bonds for films. I mean, if that were true, there would be a whole ton of films that wouldn't have seen the light of day. There's something about this production, and I've always heard its music rights. I really have.
Yeah.
Well, Piz, did you get your Spanish Blue?
I did get the Spanish Blue. Yes, I did. Yes.
Piz, I think you're gonna. I mean, granted, you're not gonna learn much about the film, but Piz, the picture quality's good on it. I had my commentary guys that I have come over. We did a watch party. Dude, we had a blast. First of all, my first time watching this movie. This is exactly like what I love about sequels. Just kind of up in the ante. More vampires, more action, more music. I loved Fright Night 2. I really did. Yeah. And I couldn't believe it was Tommy Lee Wallace, because it. Granted, I haven't seen much of what he's done, but like editing wise and stuff, he seems pretty simple, I guess, because he's, John's guy. But this movie was like wild and fast and crazy. I loved it.
Yeah, I've had several people tell me that Spanish Blu-ray is really good quality.
It was.
And if you've got the You're So Cool Brewster documentary, I mean, they talk about Fright Night 2 quite a bit on there.
Yeah, I watched that on Shudder. That was fantastic.
Yeah, it is. It's really good. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm holding out hope for the release, but according to this dude that I spoke to, he said that they don't like to license stuff, and Fright Night's just one of those movies they don't care about. They own it, they don't care about it though.
Didn't Twilight Time put out a limited run on that?
They did.
How did they get the license for it?
They did a limited run on Fright Night too?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, it was like they were sold out, immediately.
I thought it was the original Fright Night.
I don't even have that one on Blu-ray. Is Fright Night on Blu-ray? Why do I feel like I haven't seen it before?
The company Eureka in the UK released a pretty good Blu-ray of it a couple of years ago.
I'm assuming it's just Region B.
See, I don't remember. I'd have to look and see. I don't remember if it's region free or I don't remember.
Yeah, so I mean, I said I wasn't gonna, but then I did have to Google what Studio Canal own. I mean, they JFK. This was stuff they had financing on that the distribution they licensed out. Reservoir Dogs. I mean, they've worked with as far as completion bonds, which is what they do. It's all of the Stone catalog, for instance.
But did they
Hot Fuzz?
Did they produce those movies too?
I love.
They don't
Hot
produce.
Fuzz.
They're not a production house. They are financiers. That's what Studio Canal is. All they do is put money into a film, and many films they supply what's called a completion bond, which what this means is if the production runs out of money, they cash in the bond. Otherwise, they pay it right back with interest. But if they have to use the money, then that means Canal. Well, in this case, Studio Canal, but it could be any bond company gets paid first. They get refunded with the interest before anyone else does. But they don't produce films themselves. Now, it's possible that they were never paid back on a completion bond, and so they inherited the rights. That's possible. But then why wouldn't they license it to make the money back? Something's wrong about the argument.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
And I'm not saying the guy that told you was lying to you. He just might not have a complete picture, or maybe he doesn't know one small avenue of it.
I just want the damn Blu-ray. I don't care what the deal is. I just want the damn Blu-ray.
So Piz, I'm assuming that this company that you guys are talking about, they have nothing to do with this legal license. I got it from Walmart, so it can't be a bootleg, right?
No, I think that's the official Spanish release. As far as I know, that's an official Spanish release.
Yeah, but that company doesn't. I'm assuming this is American distribution. This company you guys are talking about. Then?
Oh, Canal, they do. They're all over.
Oh,
all over.
It's a French holding company.
Yeah.
Well, I'm good with that Spanish blue, man. I like it.
A little bit
I double dip. Don't get me wrong. I love I had somebody, a subscriber years ago, send me an Australian Fright Night 2 poster. And now I have cool. Like a whole new Yeah, it's funny because my buddy was like, "Have you seen the movie?" I said, "I can't get it. I've got the damn Australian poster, original, but I can't see the movie. What the hell?"
Well, I mean, let's
now I have a
But I mean, let's say, for instance, that it is music rights. I mean, and they can't get the music cleared. You can't release Fright Night 2 with a different soundtrack. That the music is so good in that movie. You couldn't do like a Return of the Living Dead 2 and just swap out songs. You couldn't do that. It wouldn't be the same movie. So
well, it does hurt Return of the Living Dead 2 as well. I mean, I know Christian will agree with that.
Well, it was interesting because I went back and I did I watched the original on Blu-ray, and then I did like the DVD a few days later. A lot of it's original score. Julian Cope's still in the DVD. And I was like, well, surely he's not in this. But no, because I remember my love for Julian started from the DVD version of it. The original score is different, believe it or not. And then some of the songs are placed different. It's Gonna Be Wild Tonight, the Joe Lamont song which makes no sense to me. In the DVD, it's at the very end, but It's Gonna Be Wild Tonight is in the car scene. I don't understand why the music got not only changed, but moved around. It was really bizarre. But I like the original now. I mean, the original score much better than the DVD. The DVDs, I mean, I love it still. I love those movies, but that's a weird case. But I was going to say, just swap out the music. But, that score was pretty pimp on Fright Night 2. I love that song that the girl sings because the guy sang it on part 1. I forgot the name of the song. Really seductive, synth-wavy I'd love the music in that movie.
Yeah, great. The only way that I would accept Fright Night 2 with different music if it was exclusively all Limp Bizkit.
Oh, come on, Piz.
Like, could you imagine, like Nookie over some of those seductive moments? I mean, that would.
Well, it would definitely be a fully lost film then now, because it would have never made any money.
Are we doing like a reverse thing here? I mean, it would have been like the highest. It would have blown Titanic out of the water.
I'm pretty sure that Limp Bizkit wasn't even a band at the time, so this is going to be a very interesting conversation.
Yeah.
I do. On the other side of the hand, since we're talking physical releases, I did pick up the Cohen Film Collection. It's a remaster, but it's a complete restoration of the old Dark House, the James Whale film, 32. If you haven't seen the film, it's incredibly contemporary. You can watch it and you don't feel any problems. But the amazing thing is, this restoration is up there with one of the best restorations of anything from that time period ever.
Where did you get that?
I ordered it from Amazon.
Okay. I love that movie. Yeah, the last time I got to watch it, it was actually a crazy storm here. Our power was out. I pulled it up on a tablet and watched. I had downloaded it in preparation for it to happen, and all the powers I was all by myself in a room with the tablet watching it, and it was amazing. I love that movie. That movie's so good.
Yeah, I mean, it's everyone thinks of it as a Karloff vehicle, but it's really an Ernest Thesiger vehicle because he's so friggin' awesome in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But this is such a beautiful edition, and it probably pushes Blu-ray to the end of its format of what it's capable of, because to bring out this kind of detail in a film, again, shot on nitrate, is just amazing. So,
I don't know where
if
else
you like classic.
Oh, sorry, Lauren. I was going to say, I don't know where else I can share this, but I will. I am kind of having 4K buyer's remorse. I'm not even going to lie. I don't know that I'm going to buy any more 4Ks. I think I'm sticking with Blu-ray. Is that, I don't know if that's wrong or not, but I think I'm going to stick with Blu-ray. My wife is like, I don't really notice the difference. And I'm just like, these damn discs are too much money. I spend enough on all these collectors movies, and I don't know. When I got Color Out of Space for $15, I was just like, would I really, even if it was HDR, would I really have cared that much? And I don't think I would have. I don't know. Having the 4K TVs are good. I like that. But I don't know. I'm losing faith, I guess.
So one of the big things I've discovered over the last couple weeks, because I did have to swap out for a new television because the old one died, is that I'm becoming a big fan of buying the movie on the right format. So I'm glad I have 4K. I'm glad I have Blu-ray. I'm glad I have DVD. There's different types of films that I think are fine on each format. There's films that I would not purchase on 4K for $30. And then there's films that I wouldn't hesitate to do. The same is true of the next tier of Blu-ray, and the same thing is true of DVD. Again, I was telling the guys before we began the broadcast, but I really spent some time this week making sure my television was optimized, and DVD looks damn good on that 4K screen. The up conversion is doing the job properly. So I'm not a guy that's going to bash any format at this point. There's a place for all of it, I think. So it might just be, Christian, they might not have put out the kind of titles that are appealing to you right now. But again, if they were to put out a title that you really love, Mandy or whatever, that would probably make more sense to you. But if you're buying things just because it's on the format to try and justify the format, that's probably a problem.
Yeah, I cut that real quick because I was like, Jesus, man. And I was like, if they could cut the cost and stop and take out the Blu-ray discs, but I assume they put Blu-ray discs in with the 4K to entice people to the future. Well, if I buy this now, I can watch the Blu-ray, but if I get a player, it has the 4K too. Just cut the cost, not the value. That doesn't add value. Cut the cost of these damn discs, man. Jesus. Like they got that Piz. What's that Schwarzenegger movie you talked about? Red Dawn? Red Heat? Mm-hmm. Red Heat, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, man, cool. It was $28. I was like, no. Seeing this movie a bunch, and I don't know. I was just like, this is killing me. I'm sure it looks awesome because, I'd rather get more stuff that was shot on film 4K because I hear that, I don't know anything about anything, but from what I understand, film was a lot more denser of an image than anything digital. So a lot of times 4K film can look really freaking good, right? So I want to get more stuff like that, but the price, I mean, God, I got Pet Cemetery. I bought that just to buy it, and I was like, I tested that out, and I was like, wow, that looks really good. So I don't know. I'm just gonna slow my roll. I'm just gonna, I still love Blu-ray. I still love it. I got a lot of them. It just feels uniform. I'm a little OCD, but I don't know. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna look for recommendations and stuff, but I'm not just going to buy 4K every release,
I want to do a public service announcement before we get into tonight's live commentary. But if you guys watching have not left a like on the stream, please do so. We would appreciate that. If anybody out there purchased their Shudder subscription through Amazon and you're being billed for it through Amazon, check to make sure that you are still a Shudder subscriber, because I was a parent. I was being billed for Shudder. I hadn't checked. I hadn't watched anything on Shudder since December. But I was jumping on Shudder to watch Downrange the other night, and I couldn't log in. It kept saying, "You are not one of us." And so I'm like, well, let me check here. Okay, I'm still subscribed through, the Amazon app. I just got billed for it. I've been getting billed for it. What is the problem here? So I actually called Amazon customer service, and they really couldn't tell me what the problem was. Somehow I had been unsubscribed from Shudder, but I was still being charged for it through Amazon's app. So I don't know what the deal was, but if you are a Shudder subscriber and you're paying for it through Amazon, through the Amazon app, and you've not been on Shudder in a while, I would check to see that you're still subscribed, or you're getting charged for something that you have no access to.
I had read. Are you talking about through Stack TV? Is that what they call it? Is that what they call it?
No.
Okay, in Canada, it's through Amazon Prime, but they call it Stack TV, and you can subscribe to all these packages, like not just Shudder, but like weird like cable packages even. And they put it in, and it's through Amazon. You go into your Prime Video and you go to your Stack TV, and what I had read, they said very clearly for the thing that I'd seen was, if you are still subscribed to the actual thing, you have to get rid of that subscription and then come over to the Amazon subscription, or it causes haywire, like it causes issues or something like that. So I don't know, maybe if you were subscribed to Shudder and then unsubscribed and then subscribed through Amazon, so it got gummed up. I don't know. Yeah. But I remember reading that there was something like, they were very, very clearly you had to get rid of the old subscription and because it wasn't the same. Yeah. Because I had some other streaming service for my wife. I think it was like reality TV shows that she watches. Yeah. And when I wanted to put it in a Stack, they were like, no, you have to clear that completely and come over here. So I don't know
how they tried to explain it to me, and it's kind of like that, but it didn't make any sense. But like back when Joe Bob did his first big live thing, the first whatever, I did like the week-long free subscription, but I completely missed the Joe Bob thing, so I didn't continue that. It was a free thing anyway. They said, well, maybe something in the system got screwed up, and where you canceled the one, and I was like, but that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's weird. And
they couldn't. Finally, the woman just said, "Oh, I'll cancel this, and we're going to refund you going back to November or whatever it was." And I said, "Okay, that's fine." So I was like, when I resubscribe, I'll go directly through the Shudder app. It'll have nothing to do with Amazon, and but I just thought it was really weird.
The thing that annoys me with the Amazon thing is you save nothing. Like when I saw it, I thought I would save some money or something, but it's the same cost. Mm-hmm. It's just that you go to Prime Video and watch it. I was like, what's the point? Anyway, I thought it was weird when I looked at it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Should knock a few bucks off the way to do it.
Yeah. But everybody who wants to watch at home with us, John Carpenter's Christine, we are going to queue up our copies of the film, our respective copies, our respective formats, to the very beginning of the film. 0.00. So we'll be as close together as possible.
Right when the Columbia lady comes up?
Yeah, right when the Columbia lady pops up.
Awesome.
And we'll give you guys a couple of minutes to get that sorted out.
Yeah, real quick, I just wanted to mention that David Cronenberg has been announced for Texas Frightmare.
Yes, I heard that. Yep.
Just saw that a little while ago. That may be enough to get my ass to the convention this year.
Come on, Jay. Come see me, man. I'm there every year.
You're going this year? Cool, man.
I'll go every year. That's the only one I go to.
I love that convention. I'm just,
They need to get a new venue soon, dude. They're overcrowding that damn hotel.
Are they still at the airport?
Yeah, the hotel, airport, whatever. Dude, it's like, I don't know. It's like Michael Jackson is there before he died.
Maybe Cronenberg, maybe my favorite director over Carpenter. If not, they're very close. But
have they announced pricing for that? How much that's going to cost?
No, I'm sure it's going to be ungodly, but
he'll probably be. You might have to pay in advance for him.
$100.
Oh, you will. You will. Yeah.
I mean, his wife passed away last year, right, or year before, maybe. So.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I just want to make sure these old guys are dying off, man.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, if he's getting on the convention circuit, he'll do one nearer me. Yeah, I thought that was really cool when I heard that he got announced for that. So.
Tom Atkins is going to be there. My wife screamed when they announced Tom Atkins because we love Tom Atkins. Everybody loves him, right?
Everybody loves Tom Atkins.
It's like, Christian, we're getting in line because I hate. I'm sorry, we'll get the movie started, then I can talk about this.
No, go ahead, man. We're letting everybody get ready.
I was just going to say, I am so can't. I don't get anxiety with people. I'm fine. People don't give me anxiety. Standing in line all day, I feel like I'm just wasting my time. I like to go to the full moon section and just find Charles Band, and I just talk to him. I don't buy anything. I just talk to him. I just go to all the actors. Most of the actors I want to see, they never have lines. They just never have lines. Like I want to go see the Return of the Living Dead cast was all there. No lines. I was like, what is wrong with you people? Like, stop getting in Nev Campbell's line. This is Return of the Living Dead for God's sake. I got all them. Boom, boom, boom. I go to the $5 T-shirts. We get something to drink. I talk to Charles Band again, pretty much, and just look at all the cool stuff. Like I buy more crap than get autographs because autographs are cool, but I like to get stuff that I just never find online or in stores. So, yeah. I just can't stand like people getting in line for Brad Dourif for 40 minutes. Like I'm just like, dude, just look at. He's right there. That's good enough for me. There he is. Like, come on, Sydney. There he is. There's Tom Savini.
I've ogled a few lovely actresses from a distance at conventions, but
oh yeah, man.
And just real quick, I've decided to join Lorne at the New Jersey Con at the end of the month. What ultimately tipped me to go back there was apparently Carrie Green, the redhead from the Goonies, and Lucas. Yeah, she's making a very rare appearance. She doesn't do conventions, I don't think. She doesn't do a lot of appearances or anything like that, but she's going to be there for a day. So I thought that's good enough for me.
Yeah, that's cool. I think they've got somebody else there who doesn't do conventions regularly either.
Well, they also got Jonathan
just
Keith
said he's
Kwan.
going.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
Wonderful.
What was that, Stone?
Oh, Jonathan Key Kwan is going to be there too from Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Have you realized? I know this is horrible, but have you realized in Gremlins and Temple of Doom that there's a Spielberg motif of 10-year-old boys with Yankee caps? What is that?
I mean, Spielberg's a racist. I think that's.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys, are we ready to get the ball rolling here on Christine?
Yeah.
Is the tank?
Get the wheels turning. How about that?
The tank is gassed up. We're revving the engine. All right, I'll count down from 3, and then we'll get the party started in 3, 2, 1, and go. And be mindful of the volumes. We don't want a copyright strike. Carpenter will come looking for that money. He will.
Oh yeah. Let's believe.
When do you think they're going to remake Christine?
I'm shocked they haven't.
Or Cujo, for that matter.
I mean, I'm shocked they've not done that. They've just about done it to every, everything with a name.
Almost every.
Yeah.
They could definitely get him to sign off on it.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
No doubt.
Has anybody read the novel?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the novel?
It's a solid. It's probably not his most original work, but it's solid. Has great characters. It's shorter, which is rare for early King.
And how faithful is this adaptation?
That was going to be my next question.
Until the end, pretty.
Huh.
It's so the big thing that's missing is that the ghost isn't in the back seat, which is a recurring theme in the novel. But I don't see that as the biggest deal not being there, because at the time, I see only cheesy ways that would have been done by Hollywood at this point. So.
Yeah, isn't it like the decaying corpse of the last owner or something like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with that.
I know Jeremy's got the novel somewhere. I've been tempted to borrow it a time or two, but he's got the whole Stephen King library up there somewhere. Let's talk about cars real quick. What were your guys' first cars? Raho, what was your first car, man?
My first car?
Yes.
Was a Pontiac Spitfire.
Okay.
It was like a wrecker. I just got it for as cheap as I could get it because I needed to get around. And that was it. Yeah.
Very cool. Gibbs, what was your first car, man?
My first car was an '86 Buick Somerset.
Nice.
Nice.
That sounds like a boat. Was that a big boat?
No, it was kind of like like an old lady's version of the Pontiac Grand Am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it eventually became kind of in the Skylark line.
Oh, okay.
It was awful. It was white with burgundy interior.
What was your first car, Stingray?
It was a '93 Corolla.
Oh, okay. Okay. What about you, Christian? Your first car?
Man, I missed that car. It was I think it was a 06 or 07. It was a Ford Focus, like the hatchback style. Yeah.
Ow.
What about you, Lauren? What was your first car?
1988 Suzuki Samurai.
88 Suzuki Samurai.
I can see you rocking that mullet. I can see you rocking that mullet in that Samurai right now. Good times.
Awesome.
What about you, Stone?
For me, I'm probably the only one in the entire country to say that the first car I ever drove was in England, because I was in the military then. A Mitsubishi Charisma Equip. Automatic transmission in a country that 95% of cars are manual. So.
Wow.
Yeah, that was my. I got a quick question here. It said Detroit 1957. I didn't know "Bad to the Bone" was a 1950 song. That's a mistake. That is just I'm sorry. Whoever the music supervisor was really screwed up on that one. That is not a 50 song.
Well, they took some liberties.
Oh, what's the point of playing it?
They took some liberties.
Yeah, actually, that's a great question. Why did they play?
Yeah,
you're trying to set the tone that this is, they're rolling up
Bad
the
to the bone.
They go with Bad to the Bone.
They're trying to say that Christine was bad to the bone right off the assembly line. You know what I mean?
I guess, yeah.
I hate that song so much. It's been so played
Yeah.
out.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
God.
I think of like Al Bundy, like on his couch or some shit.
I mean, it works in like the opening of Terminator 2, but this, I don't know.
I think it's yeah. I mean, the song it's just a relic that didn't need to be thought of as a classic.
Yeah.
Well, Limp Bizkit surely would have fit right there, huh, Piz?
Oh my God, yes. Can you imagine
rolling.
Oh, rolling, yes. I was going to say break stuff, but rolling, perfect. Perfect.
I just try to imagine the guy like taking the towel over the front of the car, and then you're, no, y'all know y'all be loving this right here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My first car was an '88 Cadillac Seville.
Ah, nice.
That was a sweet
That is
car.
Fancy.
That was a sweet car.
Caddy.
I bought it from a buddy of mine for $300 cash. We used to joke. We used to joke about me buying it from him for $300 when I was a po' boy, and then finally one day I came up with $300 cash. And I said, "I'm here to buy your Cadillac." So yeah, he had to sell it to me.
That's awesome.
Put you some 20s on there.
Oh yeah, I bought it for $300, and then I immediately put about $1,200 into it to get it to run. So, but it was a sweet car, man. It was a sweet car. Powerful.
I've never had a cool car.
So powerful.
I've never had like a cool car. That's one thing my dad always tells us great stories. He had some awesome cars when he was like, would have been around my age, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I went from that to a Lancer. Now I've got a van. I got a minivan now. I got the Luxury Cruiser.
They don't make cars like they used to, man. They used to be like metal. Now they're all plastic. Fiberglass.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My stepdad used to complain about that a lot. He was a gearhead from way back, and when the cars started to get more and more electronic, he just was like, "Ah."
Well, it's impossible to do anything. I had to fix something in my Lancer one day, and there's a computer sitting on top of the engine.
Yeah.
You got to take the whole thing out to do any work. You got to be a computer. You got to be into that kind of shit just to fix a car now.
You can't just fix a car anymore. You've got to take it in and let them do a diagnostic on it and all that crap. And
it's crazy.
It's just a way for them to get more money. Like take it back to the dealership, place you bought it, and get it tuned up.
Yeah. It's like, isn't there just a restart button on here? I can just click restart.
Can I just reboot my car?
Yeah.
Did you try turning it off? Turning it back on?
Like I had a problem with my Challenger recently, and I was like, "What's the deal?" And the guy at the dealership was like, "It's the smart windows." And I go, "Why does a window have to be smart? What do you mean a smart window? What is this window doing that other windows can't do to call it a smart window?"
Uh-oh.
But yeah, a smart window.
Smart window. I can't imagine does it tint or
No,
something?
what it does is when you get near it, when the security system senses the fob, the window is rolled up inside the thing, like it seals off the car. It rolls it down just a little bit so you can get in. And then when you get in and close it, it rolls back up into the thing.
See, that's the kind of bullshit you don't really need.
That's the kind of crap you don't
need.
That's the crap you don't need, but if you need it fixed, you're paying out the ass.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say the window's connected to Alexa or something.
No.
I like them old crank windows, son. Country boy style.
Yeah.
I still love my crank windows. Never fail, son.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Anything electric, my dad told me, Bubba, he calls me Bubba. Bubba, anything electric, it can break on you. Get them crank windows. So I had to search high and low to get because I got a Ford now. All I drive is trucks, but I had to search high and low to find a F-150 with crank windows.
Yeah, that's the universal symbol for roll your window down.
It is.
Yeah.
Nobody knows where that came from anymore.
Yeah, my dad used to make me look at the 18-wheelers and they would drive past us, and I would do like that to them so they would honk their horn.
Yeah.
Good times. And CB radios, I used to get in so much trouble on them.
Oh yeah, a buddy of mine in high school had a CB radio in his truck, and we used to. Oh my god. Yeah. We used
Breaker 19.
Yeah.
Use my police scanner to just find people's conversations.
Yes.
People that before sexting existed, they'd be on the CB. Oh man, so
I could not be trusted with the CB.
It's like what Steve.
Go ahead, Stone. I'm good.
Yeah, it's what Steve Zahn said in Joyride. It's like a prehistoric internet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really.
I was about to do that exact same thing.
Anybody out there seen Candy Cane?
We used to scan. Of course, everybody would be on 19. Of course, channel 19. So you just get on there and go, "Can I get a radio check?" And whoever be like, "That's a radio check." Then we just start messing with them. You know what I mean? So,
yes.
Yeah.
This is a well-directed movie so far.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great looking. It's a great classic Carpenter. Wide angle.
Yeah. Was Stephen King satisfied with this movie? Does anybody know what his reaction
He's
was?
satisfied with
I tried to
anything.
look for him.
Everybody do anything they want.
You know, Stone, I remember, I can't tell you where I saw it because I'll go through Carpenter interview binges because he's so entertaining to me to listen to. One of them, I remember him saying he said he liked it at first, then he changed his mind later on. So take that for what it's worth.
Take that for
You got your before and after Oxycontin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
But I just like how Carpenter doesn't give a shit.
He doesn't give a shit about anything he's
That's
done.
why I love Carpenter.
Yeah.
That's what's hysterical about it. He's just like, I made movies, yeah, apparently. I don't really remember. Like, I made some.
I love his don't give a fuck.
Can you guys give me a timestamp?
Love it.
Something screwed up on my copy here.
I got 10:56.
10:56. Okay, I'm like a minute.
Right.
This always
shot
happens
scene
to me.
started.
I'm always
Yeah,
like, wait,
I'm half a minute behind, but I'm going to
Oh,
live with it.
I'm a full minute behind. I mean, in front.
I'm
Yeah,
at
I'm
10:16. I got it all screwed up.
I'm at 12.
Yeah,
12.
I guess it depends on what format. I'm at like 11:30 right now,
Well, then I'm a minute behind.
but we're all close enough.
We're all
Are y'all at the part where the John
Dude's cut
Travolta
into a
looking
bag.
guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
The John
Look at the
Travolta
guy
looking
with
guy.
the big poofy hair. Is that the guy from Ghostbusters that Bill Murray is zapping him? Right there, on the right there, like you guys are in here with me. He's got the big
Yes,
poofy
that
hair.
is him. That's him.
He's from
That is him.
That is
I
him.
never noticed that till this watch just now.
That is him. Absolutely. Yeah.
I'll tell you what the effect is. It's pissing me off. I love that.
Yeah, I've never noticed that till just now. But I can't.
Oh my
that
God.
hair, that's him, man.
That's Stu
And
Charter.
Okay,
That's
that guy's
Stu
from
Charno.
Friday.
That is
that
Nightmare
Yeah.
from Friday 2. Friday 2.
Friday?
And see,
Oh my God.
you guys know him from Friday 2, and that's cool. I know him from just one of the guys. As one of the lizard dudes. He'd have a lizard on him everywhere he walked in that movie. He was so weird.
Karate chop.
Yeah.
And our lead guy is
And
from
who
Jaws
grabs
2.
the dude by the junk?
A testicular
Ooh,
standoff.
A testicular standoff. Yeah, there you go.
Oh God.
Well, you know these two guys, the two leads, are both now film directors.
Yeah.
Yes, Keith Gordon. Yeah, he went on to do. I'm actually becoming quite a Keith Gordon fan because, he was in Dress to Kill, the Brian De Palma movie, but then he did Back to School with Robert Downey Jr., which I adore, and then he directed his first film in 1988, which is The Chocolate War, and every film he's directed since I've really liked. He's really grown into a director. He even directed Robert. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
I think
They still should have used the Alice Cooper Back to School in the movie instead of that other version they used, Stone. You know that version in the movie? In Back to School, they didn't use Alice Cooper's version. They used some other song, and I still think I love Alice Cooper's Back to School.
That's Jude Cole, I think his name was.
Yeah.
Jude Cole, yeah.
I want a cut of that movie with Alice Cooper's Back to School in there.
if a teacher put their hands on a student like that today, that teacher would be in prison.
That's a 50-year-old student.
Yeah.
So,
A 50-year-old student. It's true.
There was just in my neck of the woods, some kid beat the shit out of another kid, and somebody videoed it and stuff. And all I could think was, if I was a teacher or a parent, that's what I would do, and I would be done.
Oh.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I got my hands on that kid, I'd throttle him. And that's what. But back then, man, 70s.
So there's this whole weird thing in King's fiction, and it carries over to most of the films. Whereas, like, whenever King wanted to point out there was a bad kid, he always had a switchblade.
Always. Yep.
Always had a switchblade.
Yep. He must have had some experience for the kid with the switchblades. It's always the same
There's
thing.
always bullies, man.
Yeah.
So you can
Are switchblades still illegal?
Mostly. Spring
here.
assisted is fine.
We got one right here.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh.
I just love how unaffected this teacher is. Like, he doesn't even flinch at this John Travolta looking guy. He don't give a shit about nothing.
No, he honestly, he was a total badass.
And the subtlety.
I had Danny Zuko flipping the
Look
knife
at
around. I'd be a little worried.
when they zoom in on his face and he's just looking up and down at him like, you worthless little shit. Like, I just love that. That teacher don't care, man.
No.
But
Yep. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned John Travolta because, of course, he's married Kelly Preston.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. Wow.
They're still married. They're still married.
I'm trying to think of the other actors' names. Is it John something?
Stockwell.
Yes, yeah. He's directed a number of movies too. I think he directed Club Dread, maybe, or not Club Dread. It was
not Club Dread.
Turistas or something like that.
Yeah,
I think it was that.
Club Dread's Broken Lizard.
Yeah, Broken Lizard.
Like that.
Yeah.
Super true.
I think you're right. So.
He directed Blue Crush. I think he's directed a number of movies too.
Oh, that's right. He did that. Was that Swim Fan?
Swim Fan.
Oh,
that movie was shit.
I will never forget that movie because I worked at the theater and they played the trailer constantly. You love me, I know it. Constantly.
Total shit. Total shit. Oh.
They could have gone much darker in that movie and it would have been better.
That movie's it's ingrained in my brain. Honestly, it's actually got way too much space in my brain.
So I have this problem with the long-winded stalking movies that become slashers in the last 10 minutes, but can't commit before that. It's just the most annoying Hollywood trope. It's awful. I mean, they don't even have proper red shirts to kill off along the way.
No.
Ever since Fatal Attraction, they've done that.
According to Roland 666, Keith Gordon has also directed a bunch of television, including The Office, Breaking Bad, Dexter, Homeland, The Strain. A lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
A lot of good stuff.
I love the line of dialogue coming up here. What's he say? Something about the smell of nothing better than the smell of a new car. He's like, there's one thing better than the smell of a new car.
So I was thinking about this, and you guys are gonna think I'm insane until you think about it. But basically, the first Michael Bay Transformers film is a Christine remake. Because
I saw that.
It is.
I'm with you.
Completely it's like the beat up old car, but it has magical powers. It can repair itself. It talks through the radio. I don't know, dudes.
I mean, Bumblebee is kind of the same way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought of that.
Now, clearly, this is the better film, but with better special effects.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's Old Man Marley from Home Alone.
Ah.
Good call.
Yeah, recognize him? Yeah.
What is he wearing? Some kind of back supporting thing?
I don't know. He's wearing a Kiki
He looks like a human Cenobite. Is what he looks like.
Yeah. He looks like the grossest Cenobite ever. Pinhead kicked him out. You're not in the team. Get out of here, George.
Put on your corset and get out of here. Yeah, he's not carrying a snow shovel, so I don't recognize him.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever tried to restore an older car or anything like that? No.
I wish.
I always assumed, Stingray, that your name meant that you owned a Stingray at some point.
Let's pretend that's the case. Corvette. I got like 6 Corvettes in the back.
Yeah. Why don't we have a tour right now?
You've probably seen me on Jay Leno's show. You know, he borrows some of my cars from time to time.
The old school Stingrays look so much better than the newer ones they've got out now.
Well, that's how much Piz paid for his first car.
Pretty close. Yeah, right on. Mine was in a lot better shape though. But.
I was gonna say it was better shape than this thing. Oh, it's just a lot of body work to do here.
And it wasn't possessed, right?
Well, I don't think so.
I think there's some grass stuffed in the back of this one.
There is, yeah.
Yeah, we got some hay in there, but I mean, whatever.
So here's something that would never happen today in filmmaking. These two actors are completely different heights. You never see it anymore unless it's a plot point. it's like everyone is exactly the same height in Hollywood by their standards. They shoot
They
everything.
don't want to mess with that anymore. Yeah.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
So
It's
what
even in some actor contracts.
Does Tom Cruise get on a box or something?
Yeah, well,
Yeah. They do it all the time to people.
Really?
I've even seen stuff where they've like put people on boxes that move, so because they can't walk physically to make it make sense. Like they'll literally, it's nuts the stuff they'll do to make them bang on.
and
It's crazy.
I've heard of some actresses who refuse to work with other actresses or be in the same scene with other actresses who they think are as pretty or prettier than they are.
I can believe that.
I can believe that. Yeah.
So Barbecue Network is claiming that I'm possessed by Elizabeth Warren. Just want everyone to take note.
What the fuck?
It all makes sense now. It all
Why'd you
makes sense
quit?
now.
Why'd you quit, Lauren? Come on.
Yeah.
Oh.
Honestly, I'm just at this point. I just want to be Bernie's, Secretary of Defense, Secretary of Indian Affairs.
Oh, jeez.
So this is 1983. Before this, the Stephen King movies were Carrie and The Shining, but this was the year which I guess Stephen King broke out on film, because there were 3 adaptations of Stephen King books. There was this, Cujo, and The Dead Zone.
Mm-hmm.
What is your guys' favorite of those 3?
Probably The Dead Zone.
Dead Zone, yeah.
Yeah, Dead Zone's a really good movie.
I really like The Dead Zone.
Is
I
that
love
movie
Cujo
on,
too.
Is
I
that
like
movie on
Cujo.
Blu-ray?
Huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna be with Christian on this. It's gonna be an unpopular thing, but I think Cujo is the best of the 3. It's a really tight water boil picture. You turn on the oven in the first scene, and by 96 minutes you got boiling water. And I like movies that have a sense of pace and direction. I know we should be like talking Cronenberg, but I think Cujo is really solid.
I'd love to do a commentary on Cujo. That'd be fun.
Me too. I would love to do that.
That's a nostalgia movie for me and my dad. We love Cujo. We always want to name our dog Cujo, but my mom would not let us. She would ask that every time.
Of those 3, Cujo is the one I've seen the least by far.
Oh, it's great. I love Cujo.
Cujo's the one I've seen the most.
That's so classic, man. I love it.
And it improves on the source material because it gets rid of all the crap, a misdirection of the first quarter of the book about the monster in the closet, which does not play out at all in the novel. So they just abandon it. It's a one scene to get an idea about how they calm the kid down, and that's it, which is so smart.
I read
That's
Cujo.
a Louis Teague movie.
I read Cujo years ago. I completely agree, and I actually like how King changed the ending, because he actually rewrote the ending himself for the movie.
Well, there were several endings shot, so I think they were playing it. I'm just amazed they went with the ending they went with. It's ambiguous, but it's dark.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love this
I
actor here. I love his performance because it's like he's got a chew of tobacco in and he's smoking a cigar. Like he's always chewing and smoking at the same time. And he's just got that just so nasty,
Like who would walk around like that? Look at him.
Yeah.
The tie, like the vest, like he's the biggest slob I've ever seen.
Total curmudgeon. Total curmudgeon.
He's a great actor though. I love. He's like a great character kind of guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then you are right. Now that I'm looking at him, like he is smoking and chewing. Who the fuck smokes and chews?
He's hardcore, man. Hardcore.
What I really love about early King, and when I was a huge Stephen King fan, was that King didn't always repeat himself back in the old days. Everything didn't need to take place in Maine. There weren't the character templates that he has now clearly in place. His politics stayed out of it. It was just a great time period for him as a writer, even though he was not nearly as developed in his skills as he is now. But everything felt very genuine. If you think about it, Christine is about a haunted car. It shouldn't work. It should be lame. It works because he genuinely cared and he was genuinely excited by his own success and what he was able to accomplish on the page. I miss that. I think when I abandoned King, it was when I no longer felt that. When I started feeling like it was repetitive.
Does the novel explain why this car is possessed, or how it got possessed, or why it's evil? I mean, what's?
Well, there's an accident on the assembly line, but it's already assumed it's already kind of insinuated that there was something wrong before that. So not really.
Yeah, I like that too. I think that's the difference. If they remade this now, there would have to be some sort of setup.
There'd be a bunch of kids having like a Ouija board.
Or like
And
a voodoo curse. You know what I mean?
And there'd be like a serial killer. They call him in, and he gets in the car somehow.
Or it'd be like Child's Play remake. They'd make it. The guy would make it an evil vehicle when he's programming the smart windows for Piz. So when he goes to open a door, my arm.
It would be a smart car at this point.
Yeah,
no question about it.
Yeah,
technology's not scary.
That's exactly how they would do it today. It would be a smart car with AI that wants to destroy humanity. Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Sounds like Kit from Knight Rider gone bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What was the bad version of Kit? The evil Kit. That's what it would be.
We don't need that.
I like that movies though. Genuine conversation like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love that kind of stuff.
Yep. I completely agree. You don't get a feel for people giving a shit about each other in movies a lot today.
And no camera crazy crap zooming in, coming out. Like they just he's aiming the fucking camera at him and he's letting the kids talk. I just like that.
Yeah.
These two about to kiss.
Fortunately, no.
You would never see cuts that are this confident that last as long as they do either.
No.
Everything's MTV editing.
That walk up the driveway would have been cut like 20 different times, 3 different angles. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah. And hit that drive away. That would have been like.
There's something about a long take like that just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so great.
You know what makes me laugh though? But we talk about John Carpenter. He doesn't give a shit. He's always like, yeah. Here I am. Before I knew about that kind of stuff, I would watch this and convince myself Carpenter's a visionary. He's trying to just let this acting go over. But now that not that I know him, but you see what he's like, I can see him on set saying, "Just put the camera there. All right, do the scene. Just do it, and I'll edit it however." Like I can see him being the exact opposite, just lazy as hell, and just do the scene.
I think he's a craftsman.
Yeah. I'm being facetious a little bit, but
I'm sure he prescribes to the or subscribes.
Especially in his younger day, I could see him really. I mean, look, I love his movies, so I don't know about this one. Like, I can't tell if I love this movie or if I just think it's okay. I don't know. Like, I've watched it a bunch, but I never talk about it or really think about Christine.
This movie happened at that kind of crossroads point in Carpenter's career because it was after The Thing had kind of flopped, and he needed to work. So I mean, I don't think his heart was probably not into this movie. But, it's still, as good as it is, imagine if his heart had been into it. You know what I mean? Maybe his heart was into it, I don't know. But he acts like, this was just a gig for him, is kind of the way he writes it off. This was a gig.
Well, I mean...
I'm surprised. Go ahead.
Well, if everything technically is in place, there's no missteps. I don't think it's necessarily like this versus Halloween. I don't think it's necessarily that his heart was in Halloween as much as Halloween is just all the components came together really magically with that score. This film doesn't have quite that level of, it doesn't pull itself in quite as well as something like Halloween or even The Fog to me. Of course, The Fog is a completely different animal because it's just such a moody, atmospheric film, whereas this is pretty physical. This is a pretty literal film. But I mean, technically, I think he put as much work into this as anything. It's just sometimes you get lucky and all the components come together, performances and music, and your director of photography, manages to capture a few glorious accidents and, you end up with a classic. But I don't see anything on screen here that makes it inferior to any of his early stuff. It's just the least compelling of his early stuff to me.
I'm really enjoying it. This has been a long time since I watched it, but I'm really digging the dialogue.
Yeah.
Like we've been talking about, like I'm really like.
Yeah, me too.
I'm really digging the. This is well shot. Like look at this. They're zooming in on the car right now. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. Like it's been a long time. I guess I've always written it off. Like you said, I'm like, if I can watch a Carpenter flick, am I gonna pick Christine? Like I guess that's my mindset. Like I go to other ones, but this is so far. I'm really enjoying it.
I think it's overlooked both as a Carpenter flick and as a Stephen King flick. You know.
I think you're absolutely right. I was just gonna say that. Like I just and again, if I'm thinking Stephen King, I just don't go to this.
Exactly. Yeah.
When think of John Carpenter, what do you probably think of 5 films before this one, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like if I was gonna go over to the shelf and pick something, I don't actually own it. I'm streaming it, but.
Is this one of the only movies that I have that actually doesn't have his name above the title, John Carpenter's? Because on my this Blu-ray steelbook, it just says Christine. It doesn't say John Carpenter's Christine.
I'm trying to think, because I've got the same.
It says it on the Laserdisc.
And on the
that's awesome.
On the standalone Blu-ray, it does too.
I got that Laserdisc, man.
Sweet.
Kind of wish I was watching it. Piz, do you got the steelbook? Are you watching on the steelbook?
I got the steel too.
Are you happy with this picture quality? Do you think it could be a little bit better?
I think it looks pretty good.
Maybe it's just my TV. I don't know. I feel like some of the stuff looks out of focus.
I got it on Google Play just to stream because I can do it on the monitor or whatever. And it said it was 4K, but I checked and I can only get it in 480p. I think it's hysterical. It was like, I paid up $1.50 at a coupon or whatever, but it was like get the 4K. I was like, okay, screw it. It was meant to be a hit 4K, but I'm like, I can only get 480p. Looks great, but it's funny.
It's definitely a film that naturally has some grain to it. Mm-hmm. That's
looks pretty. It looks good. But
I think I like the look of film when I can tell it's film. So this is pretty much in a sweet spot for me. I don't want everything to look digital and too smooth, and I don't want the motion to feel like I'm watching something slide across Vaseline. I like things that look like film. Although it's funny, I was reorganizing my movie collection, and it kind of embarrassed me because it so badly represents what I really love in film. I've been taking them and putting them in order by decade, because it kind of tells a timeline, and I kind of like narratives rather than necessarily alphabetical order. Which yes, you can find things faster, but it doesn't kind of tell a story. So I have all my horror films chronologically by decade, and I was shocked. Like the last 2 decades have given me I own more from the last 2 decades than I do from any of the previous decades, and that's really not where my head is at all. It's just I realize that like when you walk into Walmart and there's a film you liked and it's on sale, you pick it up. That's usually a new film.
Is that kind of what drove you? I know you're kind of going back and getting some of the Universal stuff, and is that one of the things that kind of drove you to that? Or?
Over the last couple of years, I've gotten to be very, very angry about where American horror cinema is at, with only a very few exceptions. And it's just saner for me to go back to stuff I love. So what I'm doing basically is I'm trying to collect everything from the 30s right now that is still in existence. And then I'll move to the 40s. I don't need everything from the 50s necessarily because it's a wonky decade.
50s is probably tough because you got the drive-in era.
And also I don't need every giant insect movie that ever existed.
Exactly.
But then I won't try and collect everything from the 60s or 70s or 80s because that's just suicide. But I would like to really have everything I can from the golden age of horror. And the funny thing is, and I showed you the old Dark House, but 2 other movies came this week too. The Monster Walks, and one of my favorite of the period of the 30s, 1932, Congo, which is both these are pre-certification films, so they had no censorship. And what's really crazy about them is you could not make them today. You could not make either of those films today.
The Crichton novel of Congo is really good too. They did a really good adaptation with that one.
That is not the same, sir. No, Congo.
You don't talk shit about Amy, motherfuckers.
Congo has some serious problems with race relations that could never be made today, but it's a really effective piece.
Jack Whitaker in the chat mentioned, and I totally forgot about this, Carpenter, before he was going to direct this, he was actually hired on to direct Firestarter, another King adaptation, but was fired from Firestarter.
Because of the thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
well, what's the story there? I don't know the story there.
It underperformed, I think. I think that was the reason.
Oh, the thing did bad. They dropped him for Firestarter.
I believe so.
And then what's the difference in time between Firestarter and this? Like, I'm just wondering.
2 years? 2 years?
2 years, right?
Firestarter was 84, so it was a year after this.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it 84?
I got it.
Yeah, less than a year, yeah.
I've never watched that movie. Yeah, it says 84 on here. My wife bought this for my birthday. I never did watch it.
It's good.
I'm not a fan.
I've not seen Firestarter in years. I think I've only seen it once.
I still got the shrink wrap on it. I don't know, man. I just never felt, she tries to surprise me, and when I got it, I was like, oh, cool, and I just never put it in. I don't know.
Drew Barrymore. That's good stuff.
If I was going to watch a Stephen King movie with Drew Barrymore, I think I'd go for Cat's Eye instead.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say
I do like that. I do like that.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, Christine's actually the first Carpenter movie I ever saw.
Oh, cool.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of odd. It's not really one of the ones that I'm, constantly rewatching either.
Yeah.
Did you run across it at the video store or on TV? Like, how did you?
Yeah, I think it was a friend of mine rented it. When we were having a sleepover or whatever.
Did it scare you at all, or?
Oh no.
No.
Do any of you guys really get scared? I mean, at horror films? Did you ever? I mean, there's exceptions. I get that everyone jumps out of their skull the first time you see The Shining and the Grady girls. I get it, but I was never really frightened of horror films.
Mm-hmm.
That's not why I love them. I wish I got scared at them, but
Yeah, the only one I can think of, The Shining definitely comes to mind. The first time I watched The Exorcist, I was fairly young, I was having a sleepover with a buddy of mine, and he had passed out, and I kept watching the thing, and literally I think I kept watching it because I couldn't bring myself to get out of the chair to turn it off. I was like this. So I can remember that one actually, at the time. I was fairly young watching that. But you're right. It was more like the allure of watching something that was taboo, more than the actually getting scared.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I've ever been scared by a horror movie. I've been freaked out by them, as a kid, depending on the movie. But I don't watch horror movies to be scared or for them to scare me either. I mean, that's just the genre that I find the most entertaining personally.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like to see other people get, I like to watch horror movies with people that don't watch them, to see them get scared and stuff like that. But
yeah.
I don't I don't like to be unnerved by a horror movie, which always bothers me. So that's something I don't like. But that's just if it's, I don't know, a torture porn movie or something like that. It just kind of gets under my skin. I like it where it's supposed to be scary. Right. But I always like there to be a fair amount of underlying mirth to it. It doesn't have to be funny, but there has to be it's just disconnected from reality. You're watching something that's silly, I guess. I don't know how to put it. But I don't like it when it's really mean spirited or just there to get under your skin. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know what that says about me, Ryan. I'm the opposite. I love to get.
Well, I know. I mean, you're talking about watching the house that Jack built. I could never watch the movie.
Yeah, I love feeling uncomfortable. I can feel comfortable. I can feel comfortable 23 hours of the day. Just take me 1 hour to make me just feel just icky. I love it.
Yeah,
I'm strange though. I'll never deny it. We got the same. I got my serial killer glasses on all the time, so I mean maybe that's why I dig it. But I love to feel like New York Ripper. I fucking love that movie. I love the foot scene. I just love the foot scene because it's so ridiculous and it's so strange and it's on film. It's a film, for God's sake.
I like it when a movie makes me feel uncomfortable or makes me feel something, I guess. But that was an uncomfortable I did not like. New York Ripper. I could do without that.
I think it depends I think it depends when you encounter the movies that make you uncomfortable. I think if you encounter them young enough, after a while you want to experience that again. Because there's something connective there with a younger time when you're a little less jaded. So like I discovered Fulci pretty young. So yeah, New York Ripper hits the right notes for me.
I heard The Gates of Hell is getting a new Blu-ray soon from Scorpion Entertainment. It's supposed to have like a 4K restoration on it. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, but I'm going to wait for actual 4K discs if it's going to happen. Those are titles I would upgrade if I'm going to upgrade at all. You know? Just another Blu-ray, I don't know.
I get really confused. Is that City of the Living Dead?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Okay, why does it have... What is up with Lucio and his movies getting called different things? Like, what's going on there?
It's just regional.
Not just that. So... what would happen is a distributor in America would buy a title, the rights to a title from overseas, and they'd have work to do. Generally speaking, they did not get these films with dubs. They did not get them. What they got was just the films. And they had to do all the work, and whatever they would do to sell it would be that, they'd do. In a lot of cases, the titles didn't translate real well. And in other cases, they were too similar to things that were already on the market. And there's no question that Gates of Hell is a really strong title, and City of the Living Dead sounds kind of like a lot of zombie movies that already existed at the time. So I think it was just a play for to stick out from the crowd.
Okay.
It's funny though. It's funny though because like all the new, if you came in through a New York distributor, you tended to get a million different titles, and you tended to get different cuts for different regions. And if you came in through, the West Coast as an import, you tended to stick pretty close to what you were overseas. So,
I kind of like City of the Living Dead, man. Like I don't know, a Gates of Hell. I kind of like City of the Living Dead. That's the Blu-ray I got. It's what it says, City of the Living Dead. So
I think mine's Gates of Hell, but.
Yeah, they're both bad.
I kind of like that movie. It's just such a tricky movie. I don't know.
Yeah, I need to rewatch that again.
It's been a long time since I watched it too. And I remember when I got that, I had to seek that out to get it, and I was pretty happy to get it. But it's been a long time.
I love the Gates of Hell artwork.
I love that artwork.
So good.
That is such iconic artwork. Yeah, I agree.
You see, I wish back in the day when the Stephen King adaptations of the early novels were being handed out, that they had been bold enough to give a Lucio Fulci or a Dario Argento a King project.
That would have been pretty cool. That would have been really cool.
Yeah.
A Dario King movie. Oh man, that would have been so cool.
Well, I mean, I don't want to take away what we got, but Dario Argento doing Dead Zone or Lucio Fulci doing Cujo. I mean, it's there.
Yeah, it's too bad that never came. That never happened.
Yeah, there's too big of a stigma back then.
Oh yeah.
But I think Cronenberg brought his own thing to Dead Zone. Like, the way that the guy commits suicide with the scissors. I mean, was that in the book? Surely, I've read most of Dead Zone, but I don't remember that character killing himself that way.
Oh my god, I just reread Dead Zone last Halloween. I think I gave him a.
To me, that's like a Cronenberg Far East, way to kill it. Like he read that, it's like, I got to put that in a movie,
That sounds like a thing he would do. I'm just gonna put that in there. I don't care. It's just cool. Oh man, the drive-in.
Does anybody know what they're watching, or?
I can't tell.
Oh.
Did you guys do a lot of drive-in? Or?
I didn't have one near me.
No.
Didn't have one near.
No.
We had a drive-in, and I remember going with my folks. We had a big station wagon. My sister and I would make beds in the back, And we'd get to watch the first feature, and then we were supposed to go to sleep because the adult feature would come on, and they would watch that. And of course, I would be like watching over the top, and you know what I mean. And then when I got older, they used to do this thing at our drive-in called Dusk Till Dawn, and we were all teenagers, so it's basically just a party. You'd go out, drink, hop cars, go around, meet up with people, stuff like that, and they would play like all night movies till the sun came up. And I remember one year that it was around Halloween, they did horror movies the entire thing. It was like Joyride, I'm trying to think what was out at the time, Jason X, I think. It was a bunch of like, just at the time, contemporary horror movies and stuff like that. They played like the whole thing all night. And of course, everybody knew us, the horror movie guys, and people were popping in and out of the car to get like my commentary while I was like watching it, stuff like that. And it was, I used to love the drive-in. And they got muscled out a lot around here because switching to digital, and it was very expensive for them. There's a drive-in not far from me. I say that, but it's at least an hour away. That I would love to go do that switch and convert it. And my old local drive-in actually apparently switched too, but I haven't been to a drive-in in years. Can't even remember the last movie I saw.
I've only been to one drive-in in my life, unfortunately. See, that was about 5 years ago in Virginia. My sister told me back in the 80s she went to a porn drive-in.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's wild.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Have you guys, when you went, did you have to get like the speaker?
The what?
The speaker?
Speaker?
Like when I used to go, you would just tune the radio in, but one time we went and our radio didn't work and they gave us the speaker. I thought that was so cool.
But I remember half an hour listening to the radio, listening to the movie through the radio. I was thinking, wait a minute, am I going to kill my battery?
You had to turn the car on every once in a while and run it.
Yeah, and when the movie's over, I'm not going to be able to get out.
Yeah.
Well, Stone, that's why you got to bring your FM Walkman, dog, and set it on your dashboard.
Set it up there. Yeah.
So I just want to note that we're 45 minutes into this movie, and it's bothered to develop characters, and it hasn't given us a bunch of like red shirt deaths.
Absolutely. Like this entire opening has been just great character development, cool characters, fun dialogue, well shot scenes. Wow, what a movie! Like
It's a movie. That's the thing. It's a real movie.
Yeah, we're actually watching a movie today.
Grudge 2020 would have given us 8 jump scares and 2 characters that were introduced just to be killed off by now.
Yeah.
No one's been like at the opening. They had the one guy get his hand clamped, and then the other guy rolled out with his stogie in his mouth. That's it. I can't think of it. Uh-oh, here we go. Speaking of which.
Oh, man.
Christine is a possessive bitch, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she is.
That she is.
Where's Herbie the love bug when you need him?
Oh, Christine would have.
Herbie roll in. Herbie rides again. Fucks up Christine.
Herbie rides again, yeah.
What we really needed is, at the end of this film, after the credits, Josh Brolin needed to show up and be like, "I'm hunting for the car." That's the stinger.
Yeah.
I just real quick. I mean, you remember in Herbie Goes Bananas when they made Herbie walk the plank, quote unquote? They just dumped him into the ocean. Remember?
Stone, this is going to surprise absolutely no one, but no, I don't remember that. Guess why?
All right. Yeah. Nobody cares. No problem. I'll shut up now.
Is that the one with Lindsay Lohan?
Huh?
That's the one with Lindsay
I think
Lohan.
they did do one with Lindsay Lohan, didn't they?
They
The
did,
remake?
yeah.
Herbie the remake?
Michael Keaton was in that too.
There you
Bruce
go.
Campbell was in one. Everyone has been in one.
Bruce Campbell. Oh yeah, that's right. He did the remake, the television remake.
They're all remakes.
Yeah, I know they're all remakes. Yeah. So who would you cast in the Christine remake?
Probably Justin Bieber as Arnie.
Oh, no. Dude, this is a Dwayne The Rock Johnson film. Are you kidding me?
Oh, no, seriously.
I don't know young actors these days.
No, I was gonna say The Rock is supposed to be playing like a 17-year-old redoing a car.
No,
I need to say,
The Rock
And everyone
is
just
the,
buys it.
the
Like,
Rock
everyone's
is
like,
the,
yeah, this is my little brother Arnie. So,
no, the Rock is the grizzled,
brother?
the guy chewing and smoking the cigar at the same time. I'll throw
Yeah,
you out of
yeah.
here on your ass, kid. You smell what I'm cooking.
they try to dress him up like a slob.
It
and still
doesn't
it's
matter
like-
if you want the car.
Yeah.
I was going to say thank the casting people, because you know who they originally wanted for these two roles? Scott Baio and Brooke Shields. I read that right before. I'm like, oh no.
I could see Brooke Shields.
This girl kind of gives me Brooke Shields vibes, but I don't know. Scott Baio and
It makes
Wasn't
me wonder.
Kevin Bacon attached to this at one time?
Wow.
Kevin Bacon?
There's a
Oh yeah, he turned it down to do Footloose when he was offered Footloose, I think. Yeah.
so there's a Bobcat Goldthwait album called Meet Bob, and the very first thing he says on the record is, as soon as he hits the stage, he says, "Scott Baio is the Antichrist."
confirmed.
Yep. It's,
So, do we have any Baywatch fans in here?
Oh god.
Baywatch.
no.
The new Baywatch.
I was gonna say Alexandria Paul. She was on Baywatch for many years.
Oh yes.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
She was always
I watched
like,
Baywatch at lunchtime for years.
she was always like contrast to all the other beautiful women on the show because she had like a really short haircut and she just kind of had like a 12-year-old boy's body.
Yeah, 100%. I know what you mean.
She had short hair and not like quadruple D breasts.
Exactly. Like when they did the slow motion scenes, it was always Pam, but like she drove the show.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, she was like the actual.
She's not an
actress.
actress.
Yeah.
We've got all,
Bimbos are just eye candy.
we've got all these Playboy models. Do you think we should cast an actual actress? What the hell? Why not? I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Hasselhoff can't carry this whole thing by himself.
We got the Hoff in here.
Meanwhile, like,
What else do we
hell
know?
yeah, I can. Just watch me. The music choices make a lot of sense with Carpenter, though. Like, I don't know why. Like, you know, you get that vibe that, he was into that kind of like when you watch Halloween. Like, he throws in some stuff into the soundtrack there. It kind of makes me. I get the Carpenter-esque feel with this car. I'm feeling it.
Has anybody ever named their car or referred to their car as her or she?
I called like I said before, my Sunfire. I called it the Shiftfire. I had a car. It wasn't really my car. It was my folks' car, but they basically bought it for something for me to kick around. It was an old Chevy, and I called it Bob, which is bucket of bolts. That thing just barely got me around, just for hanging around with my buddies and stuff like that. But no, I can't think of anything cool.
Jeremy calls my Challenger Killer.
That's awesome.
Killer. He'll be like,
Come here, killer. Let's go.
He'll go, ride.
I need to get some meat fries. Let's go.
it's a good name for a car or a poodle.
I love it.
I don't know where he came up with that, but he'll be like, ride in Killer. Like, okay.
We should get Jeremy on for a commentary sometime. I think that would be awesome.
Oh, it would be, yeah.
He'd be spitting
wanna-
facts, man. I tell you
Yeah,
that.
he would be. He would be like all the hardcore facts. He'd just like ask Jeremy. And he'd like hit us with it.
What was that guy's name, Jeremy? John Stockwell.
Yeah.
Also directed Blue Crush.
Yeah.
Oh god. Blue Crush. Ugh.
But I seem to recall an extra. I guess it's on the Blu-ray disc. I've seen it on one of the releases where Arnie. I've already forgotten his name. What is it, Stone?
Huh?
The actor's name who plays Arnie.
Oh, Keith Gordon.
Keith Gordon. Yeah, Keith Gordon was
Yes,
talking
yeah.
about how, even at this point, he knew he wanted to be a director, so he basically just followed around John Carpenter and tried to learn from him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he had two good, Carpenter and De Palma to learn
De Palma,
from.
yeah. He did
So
two
what is
films
his-
with De Palma.
So, what is his take on secondhand smoke causing cancer?
Oh my god. It's kind of hard to watch them fuck this car up. Ugh.
Do you guys look for cigarette smoke in Carpenter's movies? Like it's like a director's cameo, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only one I've noticed it in is Halloween.
Halloween, yeah.
I feel like they smoke in every movie he makes just because that's what people did back then.
Yeah.
And he's still a chain smoker. He still smokes like crazy, or
I think he quit.
oh, he did quit. Okay.
Yeah, he mentioned in an interview that Lauren sent around recently that he quit smoking.
Really?
And like he actually looked like, if you go look at an interview for him like 5 years ago, he looks like he's like on his deathbed.
He looks awful.
And he actually looks like much healthier, I would say now.
That interview was amazing. I started binging Jonesy's Jukebox. I've been watching a bunch of interviews on that.
I caught a few too. It's pretty
my
good.
God. Steve Jones is the coolest guy ever.
Yeah.
Dude, it was so funny because it was so chill. Jones even on the show, he goes, "Where do we go from here, Joan?" Like he didn't even know what to ask him.
He's like, I don't know.
It's just like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
15 minutes in it.
The great thing about Steve Jones interviewing anyone is he's not starstruck with anyone.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a crap because he's a frickin' Sex Pistol who reinvented the guitar.
Yeah.
Basically, modern guitar playing is based on what he did by accident in '76.
I love when he talks a little bit about the Sex Pistols because he kind of downplays it too. He's like, yeah, we had a band for a little while. It was pretty cool. But like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like every time they kind of get on the Sex Pistols, he's like, yeah, we weren't around for a long time, but like we had some fun. Like we got drunk a lot. Like it's just it's so funny. It's just like everyone else is like the fucking Sex Pistols.
Yep. It was a great. All his interviews are amazing. I binged them, man, just all day. Great stuff.
I throw him on the background quite a bit.
Unfortunately, he was just diagnosed with cancer recently.
Oh
Shit.
Who?
What kind of cancer?
Steve Jones. You know what? I watched the video. You can look it up. It's like literally last week he went on the air.
Wow. Oh,
Because he'd been away for about 2 months.
gotcha.
But
Well, hang on, that sucks.
I was lucky enough to meet Jones. He had a book signing.
Oh wow.
That's cool.
I have photos where he looks really annoyed at me. It's great.
That's the
Which is
perfect
what you
photos to
want.
have.
Yeah, exactly. It's what you want.
Yeah, it's
But
exactly what you want.
I'm very glad that Carpenter kicked the cigs because, like you said, a few years ago he was looking really rough.
He was. I mean, now he's on tour. He's looking healthy. Like I don't know. Like I'm not saying I want another movie, but it's good to see that he's kicking. Like
Exactly.
you never want to. I mean, these guys are dropping like flies.
Yeah.
Hey, Cam.
Hey, yeah, Cameron's here. What's up, Cameron?
Hey, I heard we're watching Christine tonight. What time we starting the movie?
Are,
Oh, darn.
we
well.
are currently right around 57 minutes, somewhere in that neighborhood. I think some
We
of us
gotta-
have different times, but
No, we got to do one of those watch-alongs where I think it was like Halloween where you guys watched it and then you're like, okay, let's do Halloween 2. And then we got to find one that has a sequel. Sometimes I think with Carpenter too, I mean, obviously the cigarettes obviously plays a big role, but I also think that him not working, I know he likes to put on this thing like he likes to relax and not do anything, but someone who was a workaholic like him for so long, sitting around the house doing nothing, it does play a role in like weighing down your spirit. So when he started getting back into music, all of a sudden it was like you saw, a rejuvenated human being.
exactly. Yeah.
He needs to keep himself busy, regardless of whatever it is.
Yeah. He needs to write like a memoir.
Yeah,
That would be great. That'd be great.
that would be awesome. Oh, damn.
It's so brutal.
I'm hitting the sack. You want to talk about coincidences? There's a podcast that I really love listening to called Retro Cinema, and they just do 80s movies. That's all they do. Today, their podcast was on top 10 movie cars, and guess what? Christine was on both of their top 10 lists. I let them know, hey, I'm doing I'm going to be joining in on a commentary tonight for Christine. That's awesome.
Long before Castle Rock was considered cool, my favorite was always Cat's Eye, because the fact that they brought in Cujo, Christine, and all them right at the beginning of the film, chasing the cat, I was like, oh, it's a shared universe. I mean, not that we were thinking that back then, but it was cool to think it was all in one town.
Yeah.
Well, this is set in Maine, right?
I don't know where this movie's set, honestly.
I don't think it's. Is it Maine? Maybe in the book, but I don't know if they've made.
Yeah, I don't think
indication.
Yeah, I don't think they specify. It does not look or act, or people don't talk.
Whenever he did it in Maine, he made a damn well point of making it Maine. Like there'd be like a small town in the middle of it. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, remember, even Stand By Me moved Castle Rock from Maine to Oregon.